Truly being a liberal has to be one of the most exhausting things.
I still don't fully think it's real. I didn't think it was real when they told us. Because I just remember all of our conversations about what he was gonna do when he came back. And so I'll just be sitting and thinking about it. And then, it's really hard. And I didn't have like the same phone call like this weekend that my dad and like my brother did. And so I just really wish I got to tell him I love him one more time, because he was just so amazing, and he always in front of everybody just was like really strong. He never let his emotions really show, but I don't know. I can't help but think just he was my little brother, and he was probably really scared even if he didn't want people to know. And so I just wish he could have known one more time that we all loved him, because he was so amazing and kind. And like my dad said, like he didn't like speak like that much, but like he was just like the best little brother you could have.
I know that nothing should surprise us about Donald Trump anymore, but every once in a while, he makes a move that reminds us that there is no floor. So some background here. On March 1st, 6 American soldiers Iranian drone strike. They were brought home in flag-draped transfer cases at Dover Air Force Base last Saturday. Within days of that ceremony, Donald Trump's PAC sent out a fundraising email using the official White House photograph taken at that dignified transfer. Trump saluting a flag-draped transfer case visible in the background. The President of the United States showed up to honor fallen service members wearing a baseball hat, the thing that the whole country, even now...
You know, the selective outreach with Democrat is alarming. I don't get the point why they do this every single opportunity they have. I don't know if the news is slow or what exactly. Now they have framed it that Trump is using the fallen soldier image to fundraise. If you look at this clearly, you can see that you can put this picture, it was just like a picture, nothing they were showing, but they are framing it to a level not seen in a while. If I go back into Biden looking down on his watch, no single Democrat talk about that. They were okay, they were comfortable with that idea, what he did. Go around on social media, search on TikTok, search on YouTube. You realize this is what they are pouring their frustration. Right now, it gets crazy at some point.
Growing criticism tonight after a new fundraising email from President Trump's Political Action Committee used an image from last Saturday's dignified transfer honoring 6 U.S. soldiers in the war with Iran. The email also promises access to private national security briefings. Let's bring in CNN's Andrew Kaczynski, who joins us now. Andrew, you've been digging into this. What are you learning?
So this email was sent on Thursday night by Donald Trump's Political Action Committee. It's called Never Surrender. That is the PAC that supports Donald Trump. It's taken over for his campaign. This email was sent out Thursday night, and it's like you said, it promised private national security briefings. And in the middle of that email, there you can see it right there, is that photo from the dignified transfer of the remains of those soldiers who were in Kuwait in that Iranian drone strike. And right there, it's sandwiched in between two links that say claim your spot. And if you click on that, it takes you to a donation page for President Trump's Political Action Committee.
What are we doing right now? Seriously, what the hell are we doing? Because we're sending American troops into Iran now? So I guess this is an occupation, because it's not going to end until Trump feels it in his bones. That's the strategy. And here I thought the GOP was about facts over feelings, and now they're allowing feelings to dictate foreign policy. And the messaging around this has been an absolute mess. There's different explanations depending on who you're listening to, and there's different justifications depending on who's defending it. I already broke that down in a previous video, but it's no secret that this war has fractured the MAGA base. I mean, seriously, you can't expect to run on no new and then start a new and not expect a little pushback. Who am I kidding? Trump expects that type of hypocritical loyalty. But that conflicting messaging has actually become somewhat of a blessing in disguise for Trump recently. There are some in his base who support the war and others who absolutely do not. So if you keep floating around multiple narratives, people can grab whichever one's convenient enough for them to help cope in supporting this war. because just months ago, they would be condemning these types of actions. But while the messaging stays messy, the reality keeps escalating, because first it was strikes, then it was deployments, and now it's troops on the ground. And that's how occupation starts. And I'm getting really sick and...
Yes, Democrats are melting down on social media about this, what you just saw. When you take a look at these, they must search high and low for Republicans who hate Trump and adhere to their communist-like TV, where no other view is allowed but theirs. They had two legitimate different views recently who let the truth be known. When you take a look at what Cackling the View and some of these Democrats are putting out about this, you will understand the level of hypocrisy with them. If you remember during that period where Joe Biden had to look down on his watch, Democrats were silent. They were okay with that. I saw criticisms, Republicans struggling to call that out. Now, suddenly...
So we've lost 13 U.S. soldiers since strikes in Iran 17 days ago. You know who is under fire for the use of an image of dignified transfer honoring fallen soldiers and using it in a fundraising email.
Apologize. How hard is it? And by the way, I don't like the baseball cap. I don't like it announcing. I don't like it at a dignified transfer. How hard is it to just say, I'm very sorry?
That should be the easy part, because, you know, so there was a baseball cap aspect to it, right? He was wearing a baseball cap in the dignified transfer. And stupid, he goes and proves me wrong and does it.
These people have a lot of problems and they don't even realize. Okay, look at the baseball cap, they're complaining. Look at this image. When you look at that image, it did not show anything there. It was just Trump's face and soldiers standing beside like that. Which to me, I don't really see anything. They can pick up any Trump image, to put out. But just to struggle to bring out something out of nothing, Democrat would twist it to a level like this. Like what we're seeing here, they will always craft that narrative for their base to make them feel, At the end of the day, they start saying, oh, vote out Republicans in the midterm. So you understand, they try to politicize every little thing that is happening. This was something that you will not even put your mind in, but the mainstream media will pick up, start reporting on it, drawing attention of people, to look into it. This was not something I was expecting to be reporting right now. But look, here we are. It gets crazy every single time with these people. They can't even stop. And they don't even feel ashamed doing this. I watched this over and over. I just had to report, bring this so you can see the level of meltdown they are putting out about this image.
He promised donors private national security briefings. They're supposed to be for the President of the United States.
Ta-da! Steak, Capri salad.
Let's just leave it at North Korea and CBS.
That's why Hegseth said, the secretary, he said we can't have, CNN can't come soon enough to be under the control of Paramount, because we know that Trump wants to hurt.
Nominated for best.
Shepherd's Ferry, it's artists for a ceasefire, and we're demanding.
Brother, my sister's here. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips at the end, that is for the white algorithm. You can always skip.
Anniversary of the Oscars. The buffet, they're just hearkening back to our founder.
What is this, my 600-pound Defense Department?
It's nutty as hell. Yeah. And you're right. Every day is something new. And it's, I was thinking about it yesterday because I thought.
Set back to the idea of an expertise denigrated while
laid in the State of the Union address. And the Democrats didn't stand.
Trump! Go Trump! Hey, Murphy, you're a scumbag.
Thanks, man.
Our chamber is chanting USA. This is a sick person. The first lady.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
She wasn't the only one. Look at 35, CNN's Abby Phillip.
But he utilized almost like...
Of course, he chose who did not vote in his favor and did not shake her hand there.
Here's the video. He shook everyone's hand. Everyone. There's the Chief Justice. All of them got their hands shaken to the point where they had to come back on the air and say this in South 33.
But we should point out as he walks in, he's pretty close to the justices again as he comes.
Other than illegal on either of those two, I think they took his bait.
Can take away from the joyous moment as all Americans. And why are they putting a medal?
Oh, he's already under scrutiny for 1,000 reasons. Viral Patel posted this on X.
Job. I get suspicious when any does apply.
Person's home, it's very easy to.
This is for the people in the United States who are terrorized and scared today.
The country's in such emotional turmoil.
And Republicans on both sides, you're
so amazing. And wasn't it so great?
When it can be hard to hope.
Hey, kids of our major cities.
How political issues